I walked over to him at his bedside. I held his hand and looked into his eyes, and it was hard. It was hard because he was my father, and I lost him.
This is Father Steve Porter. At the tone, leave your name and number, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Father Steve, it's Beth. Thanks for cat-sitting Henry. You have the vet's number and the flea collar and extra litter. One thing I forgot, please keep him away from other cats. He's not very discriminating.
Hi, my name is Carlos. Last name is Cimental. I am a 10-year Navy military veteran with 3 kids, a single father who his highest goal and priority is to make sure that they are well kept for. Every day that I wake up, I am thankful for them, for everything that I've able to been lucky and humble enough to provide for them and continue to at this point down the road. I came to see Father Steve for 2 reasons. Number 1 being the fact that their mother has an addiction, and I want to ask him about how I can maybe deal with that a little bit more, especially when it comes to my kids. Because number 2, the fact that my kids come back and visit with me and have some secrets that they say I'm not supposed to hear. These are issues that should not remain within my kids. My kids should not be told that they have to not tell anybody anything and keep it a secret. This is a boundary that has been crossed, and I need to find out from Father Steve exactly what I can do about this situation as well.
Wow, Carlos. I haven't seen him in years. It's my experience that when someone's pretty active in the church and they're involved, like as he was, with his whole family, and then they disappear for a few years, something is going on. And then he mentioned something about the mother of his kids. He had some concern. Why does he call her that? Well, I guess I'll find out soon enough. Carlos,
Father,
where have you been? I haven't seen you in years.
It's been about a year since I got out of the military. Growing up as a teenager, I was a hardhead. I hung around with the wrong crowds. I did the wrong things. I made the wrong choices, which eventually led me to being kicked out of the house, flunking out of school, all of the wrong things that you entail as a bad boy, so to speak. That was until I decided to make something of myself and join the military.
So you got out a year ago?
Got out last year.
And it took you a year to get back to church?
Oh, Father, forgive me. I've been going through some things that I thought I'd bring to your attention and ask you for your advice. Being a single father is tough. When you are a single father, it's hard to try and meet all of the ends that need to be met, especially with 3. It gets difficult at times because you want that other help. You want the help of their mother. You want that individual to step up and accept the responsibilities that she should, rather than pay attention to the things that she wants, rather than the things that they need. They see a lot of things that they should not see. One being the fact that their mother abuses pills. Well, there's situations at home involving the mother of my children, as well as the upbringing.
I remember her too.
Oof. Yeah, I hope things have gotten worse since then.
Really? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think that the structure that I had in the military,
Yeah.
I'd like to bring to you for your advice and your counseling.
Well, we can see what God has in store.
I'd be
So
all
tell me
for
what's going on.
it. The mother of my children is pretty much not doing her job.
Aye.
The upbringing of my kids is another thing too.
Are you guys still together? Or
No, we are
you're
not together
separate?
anymore,
Okay.
and it circles around exactly the circumstances that I'm bringing your way.
Okay.
There is some substance abuse. She started taking pills for an accident that she was involved in.
Right.
And the pills pretty much overtook her once she was healed and ready to go.
Yeah.
So much that it's actually bringing people over that are supplying her with more, because she usually runs out from prescription to prescription. That's just affecting the kids, and I don't know what to really do about
her
that.
doctor's still prescribing legally,
You know,
but then
if
she's
she-
filling up with others.
If she can't get them legally, therefore her friends come over, so she still gets them either way you look at it. And she takes more than one at a time, which is considered abusing them, which is something that she's just going out of control with at this point.
Well, the abuse is really a legal problem, but it's the addiction. Is there addiction there, do you say?
Yes. Oh, there's addiction there.
How much do you know about addiction?
I know enough to know that it's not good to have my kids around, and that kind of just brings me to looking into answers.
Yes,
You know, I
yes.
can talk to a wall like I normally do when it comes to her.
Yeah.
And we can go back and forth and hash it out.
Right.
Which, of course, in front of the kids is not something I like to do.
No.
But at the same time, there's really no resolvement at the end.
Do you still have contact with her? I mean, apart
You
from
know-
here are the kids, and I'll expect them back
Not
next week
really.
or whatever it is.
Not really. She's off in her own world. I mean, to be honest with you, you would think there would be conversation at least for the kids.
Yes.
But that's pretty much disintegrating little by little as well.
So they're at a school near her.
They're at a school near her, yes. And pretty much we have a way where it works out
Okay.
so
okay.
that it works to the best of our abilities.
And it works for the best for the kids, I hope.
True.
'Cause that's really what's important.
At least when it comes to them being picked up, because sometimes she doesn't even pick them up on time.
Oh, wow.
Or sometimes she'll have a friend pick them up for her.
Yeah.
Because she's either too intoxicated or too high to actually be there for her kids.
And the school permits that?
I don't think the school even notices it. I really don't think the
that's
school pays
dangerous.
attention to it, because it's a drive up.
Yes.
So as long as someone drives up to pick the kids up and they're on the actual schedule to pick them up, then everything's okay.
Yes. Can you seek to get complete?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Father, I actually have already petitioned.
Okay,
And
custody?
I have an actual court date in about 3 weeks.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's the effect on the kids and all this?
The effect on the kids is it's affecting them more than it should when it comes to secrets, so to speak.
Secrets?
She doesn't like for me to know about what's going on in her lifestyle, and I normally don't ask unless it pertains to the kids.
Right.
But lately they've been coming down and talking about, we're not supposed to tell you this. Mom told us not to tell you this. And tell me what? Does it pertain to you guys? Is it about your health? Is it about your
Social
well-being?
life.
Correct.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
it? Is she
School
hitting
life.
you? Is the boyfriends? Because there's another topic. The boyfriends come and go. My kids have seen plenty of guys come into her life and go out the door the next day. I think the worst thing that I wish that they could avoid is all of the drama that goes on when I'm not there between her and her boyfriends. There's a lot of yelling, there's a lot of cussing, there's a lot of bad names that are spilled, there's a lot of bad blood, there's a lot of doors that are shut, there's a lot of skidding of tire marks and cars that pull in and pull out, whether it has to do with her drug dealings or whether it has to do with her just bad choices in particular. There are nights where she will get drunk and the kids will be left to fend and feed for themselves. They will actually have to make themselves something to eat. I mean, as much as I'd like to control that, I really can't tell her what to do. She's her own
Unfortunately,
person.
that's her business.
Yeah.
That's her business. But kids should never have secrets from their parents.
No, and
Either
and
parent.
I try to put them to the side and talk to them and let them know that there should be no secrets. I don't keep no secrets. I like them to go back home, talk about exactly what it is that we've done. I bring my girlfriend along, who they've known for 4 years.
Okay.
We have no secrets on my side, so I don't feel that there should be any secrets on her side.
So when one of your kids says, we're not supposed to tell you this, because
I
mommy says,
pretty much
do they tell you in the end?
Yes, because I let them know that they can be comfortable to tell me these things.
Good.
I let them, feel the love that we have between another, so that they're not as scared when it comes back to taking them. For instance, I'll take them home, and on the way, they totally become different people. The sad part to this is the good times that they have with me, the smiles when they're with me, when they do have to go see their mom, on the way to take them, their smiles turn to frowns, their laughter turns to quietness. and their joy pretty much becomes they pretty much become scared for themselves. I think they know more or less that they're still out for the same ride, and it hurts me to drop them off and for them to look back at the car a couple times as they're entering the car with their mom, because they know that their mom doesn't pay attention to them. They know that their mom loves them, but doesn't love them as she should. They're scared to go home and face whatever happens there, which is another reason why I'm petitioning for full custody.
Right. You know, we're talking about her and she's not here. You know,
True.
You're the one that's come to see me.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you need?
All three of my kids were born while I was out to deployment. I wanted to be there for it. I wanted to be there for that birth. And there was nothing I could do about it. It made me realize that that time was a moment that you don't want to miss. Just like the first steps that I had to miss. It's like the first words that I had to miss. I wish I would have waited to have joined, maybe just so that I could have been there for all three of their actual births, to be able to hold them and to be able to just see them for the first time, which was something that was taken away from me.
What are you looking for, Carlos?
I think what I'm looking for is for someone like yourself to tell me that I'm in the right place with the decisions that I'm making, with the things that I'm doing, and maybe with the way that I'm raising them.
Okay.
My father has been, passed on for quite some many time. I walked over to him at his bedside. I held his hand and looked into his eyes, and it was hard. It was hard because he was my father, and I lost him. And it still gets hard when I talk about it, even though it was many, many years ago, because I miss him. I miss him dearly. I would give anything to, of course, have him back, but I know that he's okay where he's at. And I just wish he was here. I was his only son, and what hurts me the most is that I hurt him as a kid. I did things I shouldn't have done, and he never judged me. I wish I could take all those things back, because I wanted him, even though I knew he was proud, I wanted him to be prouder of me, and I hurt him in so many ways. To this day, that I know that he doesn't look down upon me, but I still really wish I had him to apologize to him in person. I look up to you as a father of my own, and make sure that whatever advice can you give me, so be it, so little, so be it so much, is going to lead me and keep me in the right direction, since I no longer have that foundation from the military.
Right.
It was easy for me to go up to a petty sergeant and ask, a question, and then give me a very intellectual answer. But I seek you out because I know that you will help guide me along the way.
Now, the three kids you've got and yourself, are you guys spiritual together? Do you pray together?
Yes,
Do you come
we
to
pray
church?
together. We come to church every Sunday when I have them. Obviously, I don't know if they continue that up there with her. But before we eat, we also say grace.
Good.
Sometimes they like to come to me, Daddy, can we say a prayer at night before we go to bed? If we're not all together.
Sure.
So on their own, they say their own prayers. They say their own prayers for myself. They always say their own prayers for their mom, which I overhear. They try to make it work.
You're doing all this stuff. What more can a father do, given the situation that you find yourself in? What's the real problem here? What have you really come to see me about?
The real situation lies behind of whether or not I'm doing everything I can as a father. And let me explain to you. Number one, I have someone that is completely against me. She just uses everybody in her powers to make me fail. She doesn't give a about me. She is pretty much a completely. And to be honest with you, Father, she likes to see me fail. Okay? She gets a kick out of it.
That's part of her addiction, probably.
But what bothers me the most is when she becomes a like that. It prevents me from having good quality time with my kids.
Yes, it does.
And it doesn't allow me to enjoy, going out fishing with my son when we do. Because being out there trying to get that going, I'm bothered, or I'm hammered by text messages. What are you doing with my son? What are you up to? Are you high? She likes throwing these things at me, because she knows that it gets to me. And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, in the past I used to let it get to me. I really did. She really had a way of working with that, okay? Now I've learned to overcome those little words that are spent.
Absolutely.
Okay, I've become stronger, not just mentally.
One of the things
spiritually.
That 12-step programs teach addicts, or that addicts can learn in 12-step programs, is what someone else thinks about me is none of my business. So what she thinks about you, what she writes to you, are you really at the stage of being able to say, that's none of my business, what she's saying about me?
And I pay no attention to it.
You really?
I pay no attention to it.
So what are you talking to me about?
Because it prevents me from being there with them in the moment.
But you are paying attention to it then, if it prevents you.
Well, so that's kind of like what to be as a father should be with his kids and live with them in the moment. Am I doing everything that I possibly can?
And long term.
Yes. Well,
just in the
obviously,
moment.
I plan on taking them on completely.
Absolutely.
Now, she will try and stop me. She will try and attack me. She will try and with me.
Of course she will.
I mean,
Apparently that's the way she's turned out to be.
what can I do, or what advice can I get from you to actually maybe not pay so much attention to it, because I don't, but to teach my kids, because they do need to be prepared. I have to prepare them. You know, I don't like talking about it very much, but their mother and her abuse is pretty much deteriorating herself.
So it's getting worse.
Her health has always been an issue, and it's falling down. So I try to prepare them, at least my son more than my daughters, because my daughters are still a little too young to understand. They
Right.
can't grasp the fact that this is something that's really hurting her.
Right,
And
right,
it's
right.
going to hurt them even more in the long run. So I do prepare them and let them know that at one point, it could take her life. So I do prepare them and let them know that at one point, it could take her life.
Yes, it could.
And they do need to be prepared for that. So when you're out having a good time with your kids, how do you bring that up in a conversation?
I'm not trained to talk to kids.
I understand.
You know, I can talk with an adult. Kids, they lose me. Now, a professional counselor would know how to say that to kids,
Okay.
and would know how to help you say that to kids, because really it's got to come from you.
It has.
know?
It has once, and that was it.
So you and the kids together with a counselor who would listen to where the kids are at, listen to where you're at, and listen to your concerns for your kids concerning their mother, would be able to explain to the kids, yes, you must love your mother. Yes, you must respect your mother. But you must not let your mother damage you in any way.
I think it just takes the time. And you know
Absolutely
what?
takes
I am
time.
totally willing to look into that at this point.
So what about yourself, though? We're still back to you,
I think,
because I think you're hiding something.
no, you know what? There's just a lot of pain.
Yes.
There's a
You
lot
haven't
of
mentioned
pain.
pain yet.
It hurts. I mean, it's going to hurt,
gonna hurt.
regardless of the outcome. Even though we are finished,
Carlos, it's hurting you already.
it is. It is. I mean,
I can see that pain in you,
it's there.
and you haven't mentioned it till now.
It's there. I try to keep it under wraps for the most part.
It's not good to do that.
Well,
Now, it's certainly not good to go out in the world and tell everybody you're in pain. That's true.
no.
But you do need to have somebody you can talk to. So what is this pain?
Just feeling like I'm making the right decision in everything that I do.
Pain doesn't come from right things. Pain comes from wrong things.
I haven't done anything wrong. I think everything
No?
that I've done is right at this point. I mean,
But what about this woman,
what about her?
the mother of your children?
What about her? She takes a toll on me.
Is that where the pain is coming from?
I think so. I think so, but I'm not letting it overrule me. It just does pain me.
It is, though. Otherwise, why are you talking to me?
What do you suggest?
Why are you hiding it?
I'm not hiding it, Father. I don't like to just get too into it. It's just, we cut our ties a long time ago.
Yes, I understand that.
I moved on.
But you haven't,
She moved
actually.
on.
You may have cut a legal tie in marriage or the relationship, living together, but you have 3 kids. Those ties will never be cut.
What do you suggest?
You have to live with the fact that this woman is in your life. And you have to change. You know, one of the, do you know the Serenity Prayer?
the back of
God
my
grant
hand.
me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. You can't change her. Okay? What can you change? You. That's all you can change. You can't change your kids, and you can't change her. So you need serenity to accept who she is, what she's doing. You need serenity to accept the fact that your kids are hurting, and you can't stop that pain because of her. But you need the courage to say, she's hurting me. She's hurting me. And it hurts. It's painful. What's the antidote to pain? Love.
It's the only thing.
Love is the only thing.
So does that mean that I'm supposed to still be in love with her?
No. Not in love with her, but love her.
It's hard, but I'm
For
willing
your
to.
sake, you know, if she were talking to me, I'd be concerned about her. But frankly, I'm not concerned about her at the moment at all. 'Cause I'm concerned about you, because you're here talking to me. And Christ calls us to love our enemies. And she is your enemy, because she's hurting you.
She hurts, man. She likes to just really just take stabs at me. She just likes to just poke and poke and poke.
And are you ready? You let her do it.
I do.
You're letting her do this at the moment, Carlos. And because you're letting her hurt you,
My kids.
the kids are hurting too. Yes. And this is where you have to be the real daddy. And say, I don't give her power over me anymore. Now, you can't do that by yourself. You can only do that with God.
I know.
You can only do that with your prayer, with your spirituality, building up and strengthening yourself as the good father that you want to be. And you actually are pretty good at it.
I think so.
You know?
I think I've come a long way so far.
You've come a long way, but
Yeah.
there's an interior stuff to come.
I got it.
You've done the exterior. You know, you're putting on a proud face.
Beneath it all.
But
I
beneath
wear
it all,
I wear a
you
different
are hurting because you're allowing her to hurt you. If you respect her and honor her as the mother of your kids, even though she's killing herself with abuse of drugs and prescriptions and all the rest of it, even though she's putting your kids in pain and maybe in danger, if she's driving, you know, for instance, and shouldn't be,
She is, from what I understand.
if you can love her, it will ease her pain. And that's what Jesus did on the cross. You know?
Yes, Father.
That's what we believe. It's what we understand. So, Carlos, you can ease your pain by easing her pain. Here's something to think about, too. You've served your country. You're a vet.
Yes.
You did so with honor. You can continue serving honorably. But this time it's you're serving. Yourself. And in serving yourself honorably, as an adult man and as a father, so also you serve your kids. How can they learn to love her if you don't? Carlos, your dad was a great man,
That he was.
and he taught you a lot.
Everything that I know.
What's the best way you can honor his memory?
By
Even though
living
he-
his legacy through myself.
and passing it on,
Passing it on to my
especially
kids.
to your son.
Yes.
You know, the daughters, of course, yes, but your son,
My son.
father to son. This is what we're passing down. Your dad passed down to you. He wasn't a perfect man. He didn't die very well, from what you told me.
No.
But he taught you a lot, even perhaps in his dying years.
He did. He did.
know?
He taught me to keep moving.
Yeah,
Taught me that in the ways of an obstacle course,
right,
you still must tread through it.
right. And you must do that with your kids. You must pass on to them. And, one of the things about being an American, of course, as you know, is that we always have the idea that our kids are going to have a better life than we are.
I would like
Immigrants from all over the world come to the United States because they want their kids to have a better life than they grew up back home, wherever back home was, huh? So you live a better life than your dad. Even though he lived a good life, you do it better. And the influence he had on you will be doubled the influence you have on them.
I agree with you, Father, and I'm glad that I see it in this light. Because before I came here today, I didn't. Let me tell you, I didn't. Thank you.
Love. It's all about love. And I'm not talking about the sentimentality of love. The world knows all about that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the deep meaning of love, which Jesus gives us an example by his love for us on the cross. And Carlos, I think, now begins to see that. He's begun to, as he said in his own words, accept. Life is about acceptance. He's accepting himself for who he is. He's accepting the mother of his children for who she is. And he's accepting the kids for who they are. Now, that doesn't mean nobody can change. But for the moment, acceptance. He's going to be a great dad. He's going to be a great man. He's just going to be great.